So, I just turned 70 last week, and I've been thinking about what that really means. There's the stereotype for people in their 60s and 70s that many of us slow down or check out. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to fade away. You can reinvent yourself, fall in love with life, and keep growing. So, how do we do that? I've seen friends or I've talked to friends that have described others, and I know a few who have kind of given up. And, society draws this line that we are expected to become less. And for me, that just creates rebellion. And I'm glad of that because I just want to dispute that society is so many times wrong, and we're going to prove them wrong. There's nobody before in history like the baby boomers to prove them wrong. We certainly have valid fears of aging and fears of losing our health challenges and loneliness, and not to mention technology overload. My goodness, especially now. But that doesn't mean we can't fall in love with life again. When I turned 69 a year ago, I decided then and there I was going to do something to inject my life with some excitement because it had gotten way too predictable, way too one day after another the same. And, well, I think you know the rest of the story if you've been sticking around for a while. I up and moved to Mexico. I started planning this back last winter to escape Texas in the summer and move to the beautiful, cool mountains of Mexico. And I did it. In fact, I'm coming to you from my little casa, from the inside of my casa today. I wanted to be outside as usual, but there is a lot of construction noise going on outside. So I'm back here inside my casa. But my point is, I made a decision last year that I was going to reinvigorate my life and do something really adventurous and different. And I think moving to Mexico kind of fits that bill. I didn't move permanently. I just took a very large suitcase and a backpack and a carry-on and I've been here going on 5 months and had wonderful adventures. And, it has been a great antidote to that whole aging preconceived notion of just fading away. And I think that there was a combination of factors, not only moving to Mexico, but starting a vlog. I mean, can you imagine? I'm used to being behind the camera. I was not comfortable with being in front of the camera. And who is going to listen to me anyway? And these are all the things that I had to overcome. And frankly, I'm so glad I did because I'm having a great time making these videos and reaching out to people and hopefully inspiring others that are in the same boat that maybe can really benefit from my story. So it was a combination of that, the YouTube, and not to mention photography as well. I've had so much fun with travel photography and I don't know what else I would call it, but travel photography and street photography here in Mexico. There's such a wealth of subject matter, And of course, being in a new place, you see with new eyes. So it's a great thing to be able to change your environment. And I realize that not everybody can do that. Not everyone can change their environment. But what is it that you could do differently? What are some of the things that you could do that would help inspire you? Like picking up a new hobby. One thing that I think is super important is to keep learning. Curiosity as fuel. And while I'm not taking formal Spanish lessons, I'm definitely learning to at least what my friend calls caveman Spanish or transactional Spanish. I'm learning to get along to be able to communicate more or less. I certainly can't hold a conversation, but I do like to practice with taxi drivers and Uber drivers. That's a lot of fun because they're always so generous and gracious about that. So that's one thing. You could start a new hobby, like I mentioned, or a skill. Uh, these are all things that help us stay relevant and excited about life. And so I'm just want to say, if you're still here, maybe you're feeling a little spark too. What I want to ask you is, what is one thing that you've always wanted to do, but you felt like it's too late? I'd love to hear. And also, I want to encourage you to comment or subscribe maybe, or share. Besides that thing that you think is too late to do, what if you challenged yourself to do something that either excites or scares you in the next month? And tell me about it. That would be so awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll talk later. Stay relevant. Adios. And as a PS, I'm going to include a few B-rolls, some little clips from my adventures here in Mexico, just for inspiration. Enjoy. And those steps behind me, is my callejon that I get to climb up every day. It's right next to a túnel. Good morning, Mexico cat. I just love your backdrop. Look at this beautiful entryway with the cactus. Love it. Here's another mine, or abandoned mine, I should say, and with a view of the city. Look at that. Wow.